Hi, I'm Jess. We are making chimichangas. Over here are the ingredients that you're gonna need. All right, we have diced tomatoes if you don't have fresh ones. Green chilies, we'll need at least 2 cans. I have a backup just in case. Some balsamic vinegar, olive oil, a couple jars of salsa. You will need cheese of your choice. Cheddar works really well. You will need tortillas. If you want smaller chimichangas, these work well. If you want bigger ones, they have like the 8-inch ones. You'll also need some tin foil to line your pan so the stuff doesn't stick everywhere. Here are the spices. Savory sage, thyme, travel, rock and rosemary. These are all homegrown herbs. Cayenne pepper, turmeric, parsley, cumin, salt, pepper, sea salt, and garlic powder. Over here we have green peppers, these peppers, Hungarian peppers, onion, and then extras just in case. Over here is the meat. All right. What you do is you take a big steak, a big roast, and you cook it in the crock pot until it falls apart like this. You have to be able to mush it down. It just slides off like that. All right. You need it shredded like that. Otherwise, it's not done and you'll have a really hard time. Okay, the first thing that we're gonna do is cut up all of the vegetables and put them in the pot with some olive oil. Okay? Turn your burner on to about low to medium. You don't want it too hot because your oil will get very, very hot and burn your stuff. You want to burn your stuff. All right. Take your peppers. You can slice them any way you want. I slice them small so that it's easy to mix in and so that when you take a bite, there is peppers in every bite. We're just gonna cut up all this stuff because it's good. It makes it taste great. Make sure all of the peppers are cut to about the same size. all that to the side. All that goes in at once. If you start putting stuff in there now, this stuff will cook quicker before this stuff is done, and it's not going to be even. Go faster, man. What do you do? I'm not going to cut my finger. Oh my god. Oh my god, my eyes are burning. Alright, chop it up. Okay, all of your veggies. You can test the oil to see if it's hot. It is. Start putting in your vegetables carefully. Oh my god, that onion is so strong. There. You want to cook these until they're almost done, not all of the way. While that is cooking, take your meat. You're going to need to cut this up. This should be extremely easy since it cooked for hours. You put it in a crock pot, set it and forget it. Chop all this up. It's going to fall apart anyway when you put it in there, but this way you don't have to break it up so much with your spoon. Don't put that in yet. Wait until your vegetables are about done. This is going to take about maybe 10-15 minutes depending on your stove. Okay, so while that is doing its thing, we don't need extras. That's a lot. We're going to grate the cheese. Here is the cheese. You need a cheese grater. I'm going to be using the bigger holes. I use a pie plate because it's flat and it doesn't have like a high edge, so you can move around. Take the cheese and start grating. Once it gets down, flip it. Do the other side. All the way. You're going to need all of this cheese. Keep going. Flip. Push. Vegetables are doing really, really well. See how soft? It looks really great. Makes you push down on the sides. All those other vegetables down there. Pile. Alright, keep grating. It's going to get really skinny. You don't want to grate your fingers. Turn it. Flip. Flip. till it's all grated. Watch your fingers. Very careful. Once it gets down really low, you can just cut it up with a knife, or, I don't know, eat the rest. I'm just going to throw it in there. Shake it out, and you'll have a decent amount of chili cheese. Okay. Vegetables look really nice and soft, but not mushy. You take your meat and put it in. You can turn this down a little bit while you're working. So you're going to start to add all of the rest of the ingredients. Mix it in. And take it from the bottom. Scoop it. Push down. Okay. Now you can add your chilies. Okay? Add your chilies. Not like that. Just dump them out. Okay? Then you add your tomatoes. Okay? And then you add, oh my gosh. This is super tight. Oh my god. Thank you. Needed assistance. Thank you, Kevin. Add about half of the salsa. If you add too much, you can take it out. Mix this in. That looks really good. You don't want it any soupier than that. If you add the rest of your salsa, it's going to be too much. Okay? The next thing you add, excuse me, is some balsamic vinegar. Not a lot, just a little bit. Mix that in. Okay, now, oh man, you gotta, excuse me, adding your sage, like, let me see, probably a teaspoon or teaspoon and a half of sage. Get some thyme travel in there, about a teaspoon, maybe teaspoon and a half. Rosemary, same thing, about a teaspoon. Don't add the red pepper yet. Some turmeric, about a teaspoon. Parsley, this side, yeah, about 2 teaspoons. Cumin, you will need a good amount of cumin, probably like 4 tablespoons. I'm just going to shake it in there because I can't take the top off. Good amount, like 3 to 4 tablespoons. Okay. Pepper, probably about 2 teaspoons, or whatever feels right, or when you're tired of grinding. And we'll use sea salt. Probably about 3 teaspoons. Not a lot. Garlic powder, about 2 or 3, maybe 4 teaspoons. I don't know. About this much. All right. Stir this in. It needs to be soupy like this. See how much juice is there? You don't want any more juice than that. Otherwise, your chimichangas will be too juicy and they will ruin your pans. They make it really hard to wash. And also drip all over your hands when you eat them. It can't be too juicy. Just a little juicy. All right. Now, you need to taste it. Take a fork and a little bit. It needs more cumin. Here, I swear, you need like almost 4 tablespoons of this stuff of cumin. Maybe 5, I mean, depending on how much meat you have. The rest of the spices are just right. But you have to taste. Wash your fork off and then taste again. Make sure it tastes okay. Very good. All right, you need to let this cook. It has to cook down until your peppers are all the way cooked. This will let everything mingle together and be awesome. You're gonna leave this on medium to like low medium, like right in the middle. Not hot, not all the way, because then it'll just boil and your stuff will burn. Probably should have got a lid out before, but that's what it sounds like when I get a lid. Put a lid on it and forget about it for like 20 minutes. You can come back and stir every once in a while. Make sure it's not burning on the bottom. And then when that is cooking, you can wash your cutting board, wash all your stuff, and that's it for right now. Okay, now that it's been like 15-20 minutes, it's gonna look like this. If you didn't strain your potatoes, your tomatoes, you might have some excess juice. That's okay. Press your spoon into it and put it into a measuring cup. Press and scoop. All you're doing is removing the excess liquid. You could leave the lid off and let it cook down for a while, and that will increase its flavor. I, however, want to get these done now. And just press. And this juice will fall into the spoon. Like that. Depending how much juice you have extra, you might have to do this a couple of times, or a lot of times. I don't know, depends on how much juice you have. I have a little more than what I'm used to. But it's okay to have a little bit of juice. See, once you press your spoon and you start getting like bits of food in there, that means you're done. Okay? Mix it up. Looks really good. Now, over here, we have about 6, maybe 7 cloves of garlic. Oops, like this. Okay. Press. Take the smush the shit out of that. Alright, don't press that hard. Just a little bit. Oh my god. Alright. And you just chop it up really fine. Or a rough chop, depending on how you like your garlic. So this is all the garlic in its glory. Put it in. I put it in at the end of the cooking because I like a stronger taste of garlic. If you don't like a stronger taste, put it in the beginning with all your vegetables. Mix this in. Make sure you come from the bottom. Scoop it all the way up so it's thoroughly mixed in. You can cook this for another 5, maybe 10 minutes until the garlic is a little soft, and then we'll start wrapping. Okay, the next step is to get your tin foil. It's not absolutely necessary, but it will make cleaning up so much easier. Measure your tin foil. Bam! Alright, next thing you do is you grab your tortilla. One more stir. Everything looks fantastic. Nice and thick. Okay, you can turn this off. Your oven needs to be at 350. Okay, you put the cheese on. Not in the middle, near the edge, but leave a lip. Depending how much cheese you like, you can add it. Add about maybe 2, maybe 3 tablespoons of your meat. You don't want to add too much because then you won't be able to roll it. Sides in. Grab and squeeze. Sides in. That's a lot of juice. See how much juicy? It's okay. Put them on the pan. And you just keep going. Take your cheese. Put it on. Take your meat mix, chimichanga mix. Put it on. The sides in. Grab. You can use this edge to tuck it in. Fold the corners in. This is mad juicy. This is too much juice. And then put on the pan. You're going to do this for all of the tortillas and all of the mix you have. If for any reason you have mix left over and you don't have enough tortillas, not a big deal. Put it in a bag, put it in the freezer, and the next time you want to make chimichangas, your mix is already ready. It's just hot. Roll it, fold, fold, and keep rolling. And place on the pan. You're going to line all of them like this. And then you'll put them in the oven and bake until they are golden brown or light golden brown. So about maybe 10, maybe 15 minutes. You have to check it. Okay, they're all on here. Put it in the middle rack. And then let it bake. Okay, It's been about 10 minutes. Take them out. Be careful. It's hot. I already have a pan already done so that I can swap them out and put them in. Now, as you can see, I put too much cheese in this one and too much cheese in that one. This is okay. It's not a big deal. Now they're gonna be hot. You can have a plate or a cooling rack, whatever you want. I don't bother with a cooling rack because I don't want to wash it. So you take a pot holder and a plastic spatula, scoop them off and put them on your plate. If you want them a little darker, to be more golden brown, you can. But you don't want to leave them in for too long, because then if you have extra cheese like this, it'll start to burn and then you'll have black. You don't want that. Like so. Scoop in place. Okay, now these are ready to plate, or you can let them cool off and put them in a bag and put them in the freezer. The rest of this, you can still use this tin foil. You want to scrape off, oh my goodness, scrape off as much cheese as you can, because if you don't, all this will burn and it'll be black and make your house smoky. I know this because I did it. And I didn't scrape it. So scrape off the cheese. Okay, now that they've cooled off a little bit, you take sour cream and salsa, one of your chimichangas. You can eat it like regular, like this, or you can cut it in half. Makes it a little easier to eat. It's up to you. You can put the sour cream on top or on the side, so you can pick it up and dip. We'll do both styles. You can take a fork and knife to this too if it's hot or if you have trouble eating it. Okay. And the salsa that was left over from when you were cooking, like that. So you have this way, the knife and fork, or you have this way, you can dip and then eat. So there it is, chimichangas.